Kendall, what did I say, man? Week one, I said, let's be ready, man, because by the time we know it, the season is over. And season's not quite over, but damn, we have an AFC conference championship and an NFC conference championship coming up. And after that, it's Super Bowl, baby.
Yes, we have, man. It's been a while since we've been here the past couple of weeks, and we really haven't had time to get up here. There's been a lot going on. Week 17, 18, the NFL season, then these coaching firings, now the playoffs. It's just been crazy. So we just not getting caught up. But these playoffs, man, the first game, I mean, we ain't got to go back to wild card weekend, but just this week, the Ravens and Texans, Lamar Jackson kind of got off to a slow start, but the second half kind of turning on. And what about that rookie CJ Stroud? And before we really go deep into this game, do a little recap, what the Texans could have got blown out 50 or 60-0. It does not matter. They've already exceeded expectations. They won a division. Rookie quarterback, first time head coach in D'Amico Ryans, rookie quarterback, rookie head coach, and they hit on a lot of draft picks. They didn't have to show us nothing against Baltimore. Now, of course, once you get to the dance, you want to advance to the highest you can get. But is anybody talking about the Texans right now? And their season been a failure. Nobody's talking about
Nope,
it right now.
absolutely not.
Nobody's talking about that because what they see, nobody thought they would. Nobody thought they would be in the playoffs. They won what 10 games. I think like they are a
Uh,
good team, man. One division. AFC South. I know there's a weak division, but for a rookie quarterback to come in and do that, man, hats off to CJ Stroud them. But Baltimore, we about to get into them. They got Kansas City this week, AFC Championship, but Baltimore looked good, and Houston, just a good season, man. Good season.
And just for those, just for those, right, who need reintroductions, we are East West Football. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, help us grow. If you're watching us on Facebook, hey, don't be afraid to share some, give us some star love, right? I mean, we can get some stars there. And of course, if you're on Twitter, give us some love. Uh, it's been a while for me personally. I know that Kendall and Javier have been, holding it down for a while. I've been taking care of. I've been really helping out my community, and it's been tying me up. But definitely, Kendall, let's get back into that, right? Because we're gonna talk about the Texans and Ravens for like you said, it did seem like a slow start for
Mhm.
the Ravens. And in fact, for the first what was it? The first quarter they were right neck and neck as far
Yeah, back
as
and forth. Then Houston won. They ran the punt return back. So yeah,
and let me ask you this. Do you believe in CJ Stroud? I mean, I think that right now there's so much to talk about. There's so many different players, but your personal thoughts about CJ Stroud.
certainly he's a stud. He's a good player. One of the top quarterbacks in the league, I think, right now, especially in the AFC. And the Houston Texans might have a blueprint out there to how you build a team. A lot of people they like to stay away from those defensive coaches as head coach, but D'Amico Ryans came in first year, won his division, won a playoff game, and advanced to the second round, man. So that he's letting it be known that hey, you can win with a defensive head coach and a rookie quarterback. And nobody thought Tesla would be this good, man. Like I just said, they turned it around real quick, and they got draft
Facts.
capital for the future. Will Anderson a stud, and what a job former Patriot Nick Caserio, the GM, is doing over there in the draft. Tank Dell, C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson, Nico Collins, like they've been hitting. Derek Stingley, they've been
Derek
hitting on these.
Stingley,
They've
Jalen
been hit.
Petrie,
Yeah,
Jalen.
Jalen Pitt. They've been hitting on these picks, man, and then they got more capital, more ammo for this season, for this upcoming draft. So, hey, Texas gonna be around for a while, and they in that weak division, man.
Hey,
Hats off to
Kendall.
Houston.
Kendall, CJ Stroud out here making Nico Collins look like a wide receiver, a solidified wide
Yeah,
receiver.
yeah. Where we ain't even seen that. This is second year, right, Nico? Or was it third
Yeah,
year?
I believe it's his. I believe this is his. Yeah, you're right.
I think
Yeah,
it's second or third. I
yeah.
don't know, but nevertheless, CJ Stroud turning him into something.
Hey, but when you're making Noah Brown and Dalton Schultz look like your go-to guys, I mean, you're winning, and
You
I
are.
really
You
I
are.
really do think there is something to this 49ers blueprint. Of course, it's the one thing that many people fail to or not fail, but that we forget sometimes is that Miko was a Houston Texan for the longest. I think he was a staple there at that middle linebacker position.
Third year for Nico Collins. Yep.
So yeah, it's his third season. But let's get right into it. Let me ask you a prediction. And will CJ Stroud be this year's NFL offensive rookie
I think he will.
MVP?
He will.
Or
I
is it
think he will.
is it rookie? Is it no offensive
Rookie
rookie? Yeah,
offensive, yeah. I think
there
he will.
He got it.
Offensive rookie of the year, I think CJ Stroud. It would have been Chris Gonzalez had he not got hurt, but yeah, we gonna give it to CJ Stroud.
Maybe defensive, right? On the defensive,
Right.
but and just to recap, I mean, you briefly talked about let's just stay in the AFC for a bit, right? The Chiefs at Bills. Chiefs came away 27-24. Of course, right now the talk of the town was the missed field goal. I mean, personally, what do you think of the game?
Kansas City just has Buffalo number. It doesn't matter if it's in if it's at Arrowhead, if it's at Orchard Park, if it's on the daggone moon, man. They have their number right now, man. I think you can see it. You can see the psyche of Buffalo. They was playing to not lose that game and to not give that ball back to Patrick Mahomes. Did you know that I think Allen threw it like 40 something times, didn't even have over 200 something yards passing? Like there was more, it's a lot of dink and dunk that Josh Allen was doing, trying to keep the ball. He didn't want to make that big mistake. They played kind of scared. I did not like that from Buffalo. Stephon Diggs with a huge drop. Is this his last year in Buffalo? Von Miller got all that money, got a big contract. He ain't really doing much. Gabe Davis is a free agent. They got a lot going on down there in Buffalo. But at the end of the day, it's Patrick Mahomes. And a lot of people doubted him. A lot of people talking about this is first road playoff game. He shut a lot of people up, man. And I don't think they got to go to Baltimore this week. We're going to get into that in a minute. But Patrick Mahomes let the league be known, like, hey, I'm still around here. I'm still here.
I'm the big dog around here. I mean, nothing too gaudy on both ends. Like you said, Josh Allen was 26 of 39 for 186 yards, one touchdown. He did carry the ball 12 times for 72 yards, two touchdowns. I mean, Josh Allen is Josh Allen. And Patrick Mahomes was 17 for 23, 215 yards, two touchdowns.
Well,
Isaiah
they didn't
Pacheco,
set the world on fire, but they
he
did just
did it.
enough. And what about I love Isaiah? Man, you see how Isaiah Pacheco how he runs, man. I like Pacheco, man. Pretty
He's
good runner.
smooth.
Man,
He's a
he's like a fifth round pick or fifth or sixth round pick.
I thought he was an undrafted free agent.
Well, he might have been under. I don't know. That's even better.
15 carries for 97 yards and a touchdown, man.
He's
He
a
just knows how
stud.
to make plays, and that's all. That's what exactly what you need at the running back position. Of course, Travis Kelsey, given Travis Kelsey and all his Swifties out there, he had five receptions, 75 yards, and two touchdowns, man. I
Seventh
mean,
round pick for Isaiah Pacheco. Yep.
what round was he in?
Seventh.
Seventh. And let's move on to the NFC, man. We got the 49ers defeating the Packers here. Woo!
Man, the San Francisco 49ers looking good, man. Brock Purdy didn't look so good the game. The other players they did. He kind of could have threw a pick on that first or second drive to the I think to Darnell Savage or whatnot. He struggled for the most part, man, but he did come in clutch later on when they needed him to be. Debo Samuel, something to look out for later on this week. He did get hurt. Don't know if he'll be available for Detroit. I do want to see him going up against CJG from the Detroit Lions. They had a little beef going on earlier this year. I want to see that matchup. Other than that defense, I mean, Jordan Love, I think he played real good. Just like we just talked about CJ Stroud, Jordan Love's going to be around for a while. He's going to get a big contract, but he did make the bonehead throw it in the game. You can't do that, man. You cannot make that throw. But a good win by San Francisco, hanging in, playing, and that's the mark of a good team. When you can win games, when you don't like the world offensively, and your quarterback doesn't play good, they have a team and they can win games. They can win games still.
And before we get a little bit deeper into that game, Fernando.
Bills stop Holmes, but rest bad call change the
That's our
time.
guy right there, man. Bills stop Holmes, but rest bad calling change the ties. What do you
What
think?
call? What call he talking about?
Was it the
Oh, I know which one they
oh
talking about. The
what was
pass
it the
interference. Yeah,
was
the pass
well
interference.
there was a lot of craziness. I almost had like PTSD from that fumble that who
Yeah,
was it? Mikael
Nicole Harmon. Yeah, I think he
Mikael
talking about
Hardman.
he talking about the pass interference.
But I was talking about I almost got like Des Bryant vibes with that with that. Oh man, only Cowboy fans know the real struggle in that case. But Kendall, what can we say about look? Brock Purdy is Brock Purdy. You know, he's one of them silent assassins, man. He's gonna get the job done. But what case can you make for Jordan Love and all Green Bay Packer fans, man?
They're gonna be around for a while. They got a young team, young core. They're going to draft. They always been able to draft good. Look at Van Ness and Musgrave and Jaden Reed. They're going to be around for a while. Especially NFC is not really not that strong. And then Jordan, they're going to be around. And the fact they made it this far, they went down there and demolished the Cowboys. I'm sorry about that, but they beat the Cowboys. Then the following week, they was in the game. They should have beat San Francisco. They should have beat them. But I think if Jordan had not made that play, that throw across the field, I give him some slack on the first throw. He was high on it, but it was a tilt pass interception. But the next one, you never throw what they teach you, never throw back across your body. And he did that. He'll learn from that. He's young, man. People forget he sat behind Roger for 2-3 years. He's young. They gonna be around for a good while, man. I love them wide receivers they got.
Man, and talk about overachievers, right? You're talking about Jaden Reed, Romeo, your guy, Romeo Dobbs. I mean,
Tavion Wicks, like they got some.
I mean,
They didn't even really get Christian Watson involved like that.
I mean, at this
Two
point,
good tight ends, the running game, like they got some guard. And they young, man. The only oldest person on the team probably Aaron Jones.
and that, yeah, I think you're absolutely right on that. But I mean, what can we say about Matt LaFleur as a coach? I mean, does he know how to? Do you think that he's going to reach? Do you think that he can ever reach a Kyle Shanahan level
I
coaching?
think he can.
I mean, because he knows exactly how to pinpoint the weaknesses on those defense and get his players to get to the right points. Uh, I where do they go from here? Where does Green Bay go from here? Fernando says, you think
Only up.
only up. You think Pack should had kept running the ball once Jones broke that long run? He goes, Niners couldn't stop him.
They should have.
I mean,
I think they would. He would have scored. I think if he would have scored, that game was over.
I think, if NFL teams are, when they look around and they see these teams that right now are going to their conference championships, especially in the divisional round, where does Matt LaFleur come from? Where does the Miko Ryans come from? What coaching tree do they come from?
All of them came up by McVay or whatnot, the Shanahan tree.
Well, yes. More importantly, Kyle Shanahan, right? I
Right,
mean,
right.
I think what is it that what was it? Kyle Shanahan has like a summer camp for quarterbacks, and it's crazy to see that all these quarterbacks, right? Matt LaFleur, what's his Mike LaFleur, right? His
Mike
brother,
LaFleur,
Kyle
Shanahan,
Shanahan.
Slowick.
I mean, all of them.
Yeah.
So there's obviously a
Did Ben
blueprint.
Johnson come from that tree? I think. Did he?
Who?
Ben Johnson.
Ben
Is he from that
Johnson.
tree? Ben Johnson, Detroit Lions
No,
coordinator.
now you got me thinking, man. I'm gonna have to look that up and fact check that
I
one.
think he
But
did come from. I'm not for sure.
it does, just to attest, these teams run the football. Fernando says, I want the Packers defensive caller. All right. Okay. What do you think about them defensively, Kendall?
Packers. They got some young guys. I think they got to get another corner. Opposite Jair, if they get his situation rectified or whatnot, if he's back with them, I heard he might not be. And they got to get some corners. I think they're solid at safety, pass rush, they're definitely good. The middle, they good. Linebacker solid. I think they got to get some corners. And I think they'll be able to compete with the guys in the NFC with the Hurtses and the Eagles and Minnesota going to be back. San Francisco, Dallas, they'll be able to compete.
For sure, for sure. I think if anything, I love the future that Jordan Love offers the Packers, and like you said, he's relatively young. I mean, he had to sit, and this is his first year being, where they tap him in and say, "Hey, it's your turn," and he really turned on, especially in the playoffs. I don't know, something just switched. I don't know if you concur with me on this one.
I do.
There's just something in him, so that's good to see. I know that when he came out, there's a lot of people kind of remembering that he had this Patrick Mahomes type game to him. Have you seen anything that kind of resembles a Patrick Mahomes type quarterback in
The
Jordan
way he
Love?
moves in the pocket, some of the off-platform throws he made. I like the play that he made against the Cowboys a couple weeks ago. I think it was to Dontavion Wicks, fade off his back foot. He beat Gilmore on third and like that was a crazy thing. He made a bunch of throws that game.
Yeah, he did. I mean, and like you said, a lot of them were not there were not on platform throws, or passes in this case. Sernando says the way he coached them how to play zone D. So Sernando's all sold on the Packers
Mm-hmm.
defensive coordinator there.
Yeah,
I'll tell you this, man. A
they should
lot
have
of
beat
these
San Francisco. He can handle
Don't tell that to 49er fans, man. They'll get mad at you, man. They'll be upset with you. They'll be like, Kendall, no, it's not. It's what is it? It's gang gang or what is it? What do they call
Gang,
themselves?
Niner gang.
Gang gang niner gang, right? Uh, and of course, the Buccaneers lose to the Detroit Lions. Kendall,
uh, I'm gonna start Baker Mayfield. I think he
Baker
deserves a.
Mayfield.
I ain't gonna say a long-term contract, but he should be back with them next year. I think he showed enough. And then who else they're gonna get? If they get somebody later in the draft, like a Bo Nix or something like that, depending on where they're picking at. I like what I've seen for they got to figure out the Mike Evans situation. They can bring him back. Chris Godwin, they get a little up there in age, so I think they need to add another wide receiver. Add a couple pieces on defense. I think they'll be fine. The defense is good because Todd Bowles like to blitz, but I still think they need a little more. Detroit Lions, man, surprised. They really surprised me, man.
A true
They really did. I did not see this. I knew they would win the division, but I didn't know they'd be this good. And they look. We're going to pick the game in a minute. But I think they got a legitimate shot to go it down there in San Francisco and win that game at Levi State. I think they got a good shot, man. I think they got a shot to do it. Jared Goff, the way he's playing, hasn't turned the ball over yet. They do. I think they got a couple injuries on offensive line. I think they do. But if they can get that figured out, they got a good shot to go down to San Francisco and win.
I'll tell you this, man.
Goff
I
has
want
experience playing against the 49ers because he was with the Rams.
You're right. And like you said, I mean, this is two NFC championships. He's been there
Mm-hmm.
before. He's
Yep.
been to the big dance too. He's been to the Super Bowl. Uh, and let's talk about the Detroit Lions. I mean, are they a Cinderella story this season?
I don't think they're a Cinderella story, man, because a lot of people predicted them to be good. I mean, so
Well,
a Cinderella story, they come out of nowhere.
I will say this: I did predict them to come away with a North,
Yeah.
and I think we were all on board with that, right? Especially with A Rod out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was easy to see because I mean, what was the old saying that Dan Campbell said that he came in
Like the
there and
kneecaps.
bite the kneecaps, man. So with this Detroit Lions, I mean, they definitely bringing what's the word? Grit,
Mm-hmm.
toughness.
They got weapons all over. I know this offseason, I said some comments on our little chat about I didn't think Detroit could. I didn't think they have enough, but boy, was I wrong, man. My own Walter Stranger, like we went back and forth earlier. I didn't see it, but Ben Johnson and that scheme, the way he get people open in the middle of the field, then they got so many weapons. I love Laporta at
Oh man.
Iowa. Jameson Williams is coming on. Jameer Gibbs, Peoples Jones, Randall. Like I ain't even said the number one receiver, Amon St. Brown. Like
Yeah,
they got some guys,
and that's because I'm on St. Brown wasn't even a first rounder. We
right?
haven't even talked about Jameson Williams.
Right, like they got some guys there, man. I didn't see it, and that boy was out wrong. I look crazy. I'm the same one that said the Saints were going to the NFC Championship game. So I gotta look. I gotta do some resetting on my end.
Sherman says, no, they not bad division. If Packers came, Luke, this in the bringing our cousins didn't get hurt would have been a battle of that division. Oh,
True.
damn. Do you think if Kirk Cousins was there, this is a little bit
Oh
tougher
yeah,
for them
yeah, yeah.
to
Oh
come
yeah,
away the
oh yeah, yeah. Certainly. NFC North gonna be something to reckon with next couple years.
Oh, yes, you could see it. I mean,
Let's see what Chicago do. Minnesota coming back.
hey,
Detroit, Green Bay. This could be a good division.
Chicago right now for the offseason, they are in the front seat of things, aren't
Right,
they? I mean, the first pick overall,
right.
who would have thought, right? I mean, who would have thought? And then you still got Justin Fields, who I understand he got set back by injury, but do you still believe in Justin Fields personally?
I do. I want to see them succeed. I just want them. I wish that me personally, being a Patriots fan, I think they should keep Fields and build around him. Go get him Marvin Harrison or whatnot. Because why are you going to throw another quarterback in this same situation for and expect different results? You know what I mean? We've seen quarterbacks come out being the one overall and do not produce. They be bust. So it does not mean Caleb Williams is going to be like we don't know yet. Just build around Fields, see what you got. Worst case scenario, if it doesn't work out, you're gonna be bad anyway. So get a quarterback next year. At least you got the pieces around the quarterback now.
So here we go, Kendall. we don't have to make any predictions, but we're just gonna talk about these championship games. I'm gonna ask you a few questions, and then you let me know, man.
Okay.
What's the commonality here? Or you know what? I'm just gonna ask you. I'm just gonna bluntly ask you: Chiefs versus Ravens, man. I mean, in this matchup between the two teams, who is that team that is just a tough team that brings that attitude, that plays with attitude, and you know that you're going to get your money's worth watching or being there at the game?
I mean, Baltimore, you know that. They're a tough team. I think Kansas City got their work cut out for them. This is going to be a good game. This ain't going to be the Buffalo Bills who you've owned lately. Now, Kansas City has played Mahomes. They have like a 2-1 or 3-1 record over Lamar. So they've played. They've had Baltimore number. They haven't played in a couple years. I think last time they played Baltimore won, I believe. I think they did. But I just think this. We're not picking it. Probably gonna pick a Sunday, I think. But
Yeah, yeah.
we'll
We
pick a
gotta wait.
Sunday. Yeah, we pick a Sunday. I just don't. This Baltimore team has a lot of weapons, and they're gonna give Kansas City all fits. Now, Kansas City has the grit, the grind. They've been there before. They got the experience. It's gonna be a battle of two teams. But I wanted the matchup I want to see though is the Baltimore defensive line going up against that Kansas City offensive line. I want to see that and see how they attack Mahomes and get them off platform, get them off rhythm, and just get out and get them off the spot. I want to see that. Another matchup I want to see is how the Chiefs secondary hold up against Baltimore's weapons, and also Mark Andrews should be back to to close the good health for this game too. And they got something Isaiah Likely too.
So Fernando says, I say Field should go to Miami just in case Tua is not that guy. Do you
Hmm.
think that do you think that Justin Fields is maybe would you say there's a case to be made that Justin Fields is better than Tua, Kendall?
I need to see more from Fields. I mean, Tua answered my question this year. If he could stay here, he was healthy for the most part this year.
He
He answered
was.
that big question. Now I don't know if he's worth of a big contract. Yeah, I need to see more. Now, can you be healthy 2 years in a row? Is that too much to ask for?
I mean, can you? But just imagine that pairing. I mean, where does Mike McDaniel? Where does he? What coaching tree does he come from, Kendall?
Shane.
The Shanahan man. I'll tell you something. There's the blueprint right there. Is right now you're playing in Kyle Shanahan's
Yeah.
NFL now, and not 49ers. This is Kyle Shanahan's world, and we're just trying to live in it, man. And the battle of the bullies, Kendall. Is it safe to say that the Lions versus the 49ers, that this should
Oof,
be the battle of the
this is gonna be
bullies?
good. I can't. These are the best. Who did? Just wait on a minute. Hold on. Who thought the Detroit, our Final Four teams would be Kansas City? I mean, a lot of people could see Kansas City there. You can see
And
Baltimore there with all the moves they made. San Francisco, I mean, they've been. They're kind of like, dude, they always in the Final Four. They never can get it done. But maybe this is the year they can get over the hurdle, whatnot. But Detroit, we thought maybe they could win the division, maybe win one game, but in the Final Four. So I think this Detroit, this Detroit team, like I said, man, I think they can go in there and get it done. We're not gonna pick it, but we got the rest of the week to go back and forth on our prediction. But this is gonna be a battle, man. I want to see how Detroit offensive line holds up because they did get banged up. But I hope they're at full health, man. I hope they are. This is gonna be a fight, man. I cannot wait for these games.
I mean, I don't. I mean, from what I've seen, the 49ers, I mean, they bring hell to every NFL team. But the one thing that I've noticed from the Lions is, you know what, they're doing the same thing. They're really
Mm,
bringing it to
mm.
teams. I mean, they're the I think the physicality of what you see in the 49ers is that the same thing that you see with these Lions, basically?
Yeah, yeah. I think they're both the same because you look at it. The way Detroit plays a physical game, running with Jameer Gibbs and Montgomery, they can run the ball, play
Man,
action.
Jameer Gibbs is worth that
Ooh,
first
did you see
round pick.
you see how he threw Antoine Winfield in the end zone? Like, man, my bad, Antoine Winfield, but man, a rookie. And I think Winfield, like in his third year, I think, third year, I believe, 34th year. Like, man, in San Francisco, we already know they bringing their lunch pail to the game. They about that physical, that physicality, like. So man, I cannot wait for this game, man. This is gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be a really good game. Fernando says Field is better at running. He's comparing that, or when we talked about Tua, I just didn't get it on the stream early enough. Definitely, I think Justin Fields would definitely add a different element in the Kyle Shanahan type offense. I think it would help the whole running game go. And after that, if you get the running game go, obviously you can see that the passing game goes. I'll tell you this much right now. I know who my favorite is right now in the AFC. Of
Mm.
course, I love me some Patrick Mahomes. But damn, these Baltimore Ravens look good. I think
Yeah,
they
they do.
when they're clicking on offense, they look great. We saw the battle with the Ravens and 49ers, and a lot of us, including myself, thought this is the actual Super Bowl itself. Um, but damn, on the NFC side, I'm gonna have to side with the Detroit Lions. That's my favorite
Mm,
team right now in this
mm,
conference championship. But
mm.
damn, the 49ers, like you said, they're there every year, Kendall.
Yes, sir.
Every year,
Yes,
man.
sir.
It's so hard, man. So I'll tell you this much right now. It's easy to root for a team on both the AFC. Like I said, I love both the Chiefs and the Ravens. Of course, I have to side with the defending champs, the Chiefs and the AFC. On the NFC, man, I respect the 49ers. They've given my Cowboys hell for man the last 3 years. I think 3 seasons now in total. So now says, you think Goff can get away with some of these passes he be throwing? Niners like to jump routes, man,
They do. They do.
and they're really good at it too,
Yeah.
Kendall. If the Lions pull this off,
Whew.
Kendall,
The whole and I think Detroit needs this because they don't have anything. I don't know what the Tigers' record is in baseball. Detroit Pistons are awful. I mean, they set a record for the most losses they've had. I think it'd be big for the city, man. They never won a Super Bowl, Detroit Lions, so it'd be big for Detroit if they
it
get
would
there.
be it would be
I think a
in
lot of people would love to see Detroit and Baltimore. And I think we've seen Baltimore, San Francisco. Baltimore won that years ago. Then they beat them earlier this year. But I don't think if it's Baltimore, San Francisco, I don't think Baltimore gonna beat them like that twice. So we don't want to see nobody. I think nobody wants to see the Chiefs in there again. Nobody
and
wants Mahomes.
just to kind of recap, we talked about Ben Johnson, right? I
Yeah.
mean, he's already getting phone calls for for a head coaching job. Um, this has been his lineage here. So he started off in Boston College in '09
Mm-hmm.
to about 2011. Then he went to the Dolphins in 2012, and he had been with the Dolphins up until 2018. That's when he transitioned over to Detroit Lions. So he's been,
He's
you
been
know,
in
he's
Detroit since 2019.
yeah. So he's not quite off that what's that Cal Shanahan,
Mm-hmm.
um like we said, the blueprint is out there. I think Dan Campbell really came in here with a true vision of what
Well, I
an
didn't know he was that young, dude. He young.
yeah, 1986.
Yeah.
What that would make him what,
37.
37ish?
Yeah.
Yeah. uh Fernando says, half my family Lion fans, but I said I'm just a football fan during the rest of the season, man. I just love me some football. Yes, my heart is in Dallas. You know what? But all jokes aside, this is going to be a great situation here. I mean,
Can't
who?
wait, man.
I mean, it could go either way. We can either see the Lions in the Super Bowl or the 49ers in the
I think
Super
a lot
Bowl.
of people wouldn't mind seeing Baltimore versus Lions Super Bowl, something new.
Yeah,
We've
that would
seen Baltimore, San Francisco like in 2013, I think, 2014, 2012, I believe, something like that. But I wouldn't mind. I want to see Baltimore, San Francisco. I think that's the most. That's the most. That's to get your popcorn ready.
yeah.
Baltimore, Detroit is something different, so I can see that. We just saw Kansas City and 49ers a few years ago. Kansas City, Detroit would be, yeah, okay, I think it would be a pretty good one too. So I don't think we can go wrong with the matchups.
Can you imagine a Chiefs and Lions Super Bowl?
Like I said, I don't think we can go wrong, man.
Can't go wrong, man. Honestly, at the very end of it all, I think that we're in for a great treat,
Mhm.
man, with these conference champ. I mean, yeah, with these conference championships. So, uh, that's it, Kendall. I mean,
Sure.
shoot, for the most part, the season's almost over, man. It's almost Super
Yep.
Bowl. I cannot believe we're practically done with January. I think we're going to be
Right.
jumping into February in a week or so.
Some draft
Um,
talk, free agency.
there's a lot on the table that we're going to be talking about. I know after the Super Bowl, we'll get into all the coaching hirings, right? Because we don't
Yeah,
know where your coach, right, Bill,
Bill
Coach Bill.
Belichick. Yep. I
I
think he's
mean,
going to Atlanta, but we'll see.
this they said a Bleacher Report put out a report. I think it was today. Didn't they say that
Yeah.
it's kind of stale right now? So
Yep.
now it says I want to see KC versus
Yeah.
49ers. Just
Niners
came.
beat them last.
Niners said they would have beat them last season if they had a quarterback.
Okay. They
Damn,
played last year.
man.
I think they did play last year. Yeah, they played last year. They played.
They- well, that's it for us. Thank you for joining us on the
Yes,
East West
sir.
Football. And of course, like I said, if you're new to us, please give us a subscribe. And that's it, man. We'll talk to you guys
Peace.
soon.